Well, hello there. Hi. Hello.
Hey, no, 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 hey, no, no.
Well, hello everybody. It is Monday. Nope. Tuesday, September 5th, the day after Labor Day, and it is the first day in the second week of school. And I am overwhelmed yet again. That stack of papers I took home, I did not tackle it. What I did do, though, was adjust seating charts, and I worked on lesson plans over the weekend, which was all totally the more important things to do over the weekend, but I did not get to grading and sorting out papers because I slept in yesterday. I intended to get up at like 7-ish and eat breakfast, go to Starbucks, and work, and I was not successful in that. I got up early and I had plans for the rest of the day, so I realized I needed to get my run in the morning, so I ran, and then I sat around a little bit. I shouldn't have done that, but I sat around a little bit, and then I got to Starbucks and worked for a couple hours and drank way too much coffee. Did you know that a venti iced coffee is only 54 cents to get a refill? So I got 3 of them. And honestly, caffeine doesn't normally affect me that much. Like, I'll fill up this like 2/3 full, finish most of it, and it doesn't really affect me that much. Like, it's not that big of a deal. But yesterday, I just was like, I could really feel it. When I got, after going to Starbucks, I went to my parents, and we had our kind of a Labor Day meal and hung out a little bit, and I was bouncing off the walls and talking really fast and going a million miles an hour, and my mom was like, yeah, I can tell you've had coffee. And then that night I was doing okay, and I wasn't that tired, but I just was thinking, okay, it's because I didn't get up till 9. And then I was talking with my husband till like 12:30, and after that I was having so much trouble falling asleep. I even tried putting on rain noises. I even tried playing a video and just listening to it. And finally I went and had a snack and laid down, and I finally went to sleep by like 1:15, 1:30, and had to get up around 6 this morning. So I did not get enough sleep at all. Like, oh my god. Yesterday was hard, and today it's just hitting me how many things I'm gonna have to keep track of. Like, this afternoon, whoa. I also did not do my hair this morning, obviously. This afternoon, I need to meet with my mentee, and then we have a faculty meeting right after, and I still have to do lesson plans for Art 2 for next week. Those are due tomorrow by 5, which I may put that off till tomorrow. We will see. I also needed to prep for tomorrow, and then on top of all that, I still have to go through all of the homework from last week. I have accomplished, I can't really show y'all, there's names all over it, but I have accomplished going through and checking off everybody who has turned in their signed info form, and so now I have to go through and pull, like, write names on the papers of who it goes to and get those passed out tomorrow, because that just needs to be done. I need to start making positive phone calls. They want us to call like everybody, I think by the end of the 6 weeks. I don't know, but I need to start that at some point somehow. I have a few discipline calls I need to make, and then I need to grade the selfie homework, and I need to grade the elements practice we did last week, and I need to grade the quiz we just took today. And then a lot of people are done with their element principle boxes and their element principle pyramids. I also need to get tape so we can cut those out and put them together tomorrow. And then so much stuff. Oh my gosh. I did those little note cards last week that I had them write a question. I did write the answers to all of those. I just finished that last period. Thankfully, the rest of the day, kids are taking quizzes, so hopefully that helps. Oh, and I need to do student files. I'm gonna start working. Well, I forgot to update the vlog for the end of the day. And I was so caught up in what I was doing. I actually did, okay, proud of myself, y'all. I actually did a good job in my conference. I prepared everything I needed for tomorrow, which wasn't very much, thankfully. And then throughout the afternoon, as I had my last Art 1 class, my last Art 2 class, Art 3 I had in the morning already, I erased my board and updated it. And that was super helpful. So basically, when the last bell rang, I was pretty much ready to go. Then we have a faculty meeting, which lasts until like 5-ish, I think. Then I worked on student files a little bit. I got one class done earlier today in my conference and another one done this afternoon. So that's 3 out of the 7 that are done. So, yeah, there's that. Then I started getting ready. I'm calling it. When I was telling my administration about it, I called it the golden pencil system, because that's the prize, a golden pencil. And it's like their trophy. But then, it's also kind of like the art star thing. How are you, because it says on the top of the display, it says, how are you going to be an art star? And then it gives the students different tasks to complete. And so they have a task that earns them their golden pencil. And that was to get an 80 or above on the quiz that we took today, which means I had to take them home and grade them, at least grade morning, and at least grade first, third, and fourth. And then in my conference, I'll grade the rest. So get an 80 or above on that, and I even put a note on there. Talk to Miss Bilstein if you did not get an 80 or above, because I'm going to give them a chance to correct it at least. And then or their eraser, and the task I put on there was to get an 80 or above on their first project. And so with that, I can if they want feedback on it, I can if they're pretty much done, I can estimate what I'm going to give them and let them adjust that. And then I went ahead and pulled 3 different tasks that they can do to earn the different, I'm calling them belts almost. They're strings that you tie on to the end of your pencil. So the idea is by the end of the year, they have this little pencil that has all of these strings coming off of it, and it's like their little prize for being awesome. And it also solves the problem of people not having pencils in art. I got the idea from a teacher who was presenting at the online conference I went to. That was one thing I actually took away from there that I'm using. So I don't know if that all made sense, and I will definitely go over it after people have used it and kind of see how it works. But I really like the idea, and I'm excited for it. So I got that set up, and now I have to go home and grade their quizzes. Well, like I said, grade for just my classes. Right now, in general, I feel like I am continuing to be overwhelmed. I did a few hours of work yesterday, and honestly, I probably should have done a whole day's of work, because even though throughout the day today I checked the signed forms that were turned in, and I only got like half of them overall, which was so disappointing. Because of the rate, like kids were asking me, where do we turn this in and things, like just an estimate in my head, I was like, okay, so I have like 3/4, like 80%, 80-90% of them. No, not even in my advanced class. Like, I get to bug them about that tomorrow, so I just kind of pulled copies for that. And then I also, throughout the day today, they wrote a little warm-up question. They wrote a question about art last week as one of their warm-ups, and so I wrote out on every single one of them an answer. And I tried to be kind of cute and a little silly in my answers to help, maybe that'll help build rapport with them. So yeah, I feel like I haven't really got things done because my stack of grading's not any shorter, and I still gotta finish my lesson plans for tomorrow. But it's doable, which is great. So I am headed to buy a couple of things at Hobby Lobby, like some paper. I realized I don't have large paper for my Art 3 class to use, so I'm gonna just go buy a pad of paper, and it's probably on sale, or you can use a coupon. And I need some tape so they can make their cubes and their pyramids, and yeah, that is how things are going right now. And I want to chill my brain for a little bit before I get to Hobby Lobby, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Hello, everybody. Today is Wednesday, September 6th, and today has been a good day so far. Woke up really tired again this morning, but I barely made it to work. But once I got to work, I got my coffee and I had my duty, and so that kind of woke me up, and the day has gone well so far. Let me show you my outfit. I went thrift shopping and I got these like watercolor flower pants to kind of go with my gray shirts. So I was really happy about that because they're totally artsy. Thrift stores are good. So that is one happy thing. Another happy thing was everybody's been good. And a third happy thing is that I have pretty much got things ready for tomorrow, except updating the board for Art 1 and 2, which I can't do until the end of the day. But in terms of materials and things to prepare, I have that ready. The kids were not quite ready for the golden pencil system yet, so I have not introduced it at all. I might have to introduce it to Art 2 today or tomorrow. We will see, probably tomorrow. I think I'm just going to introduce it to everybody tomorrow. So that is good to go, which means I didn't really need to do grading last night, but I'm glad I did it. I graded three class periods worth, and that worked out just fine. As far as what we are doing today, Art 1 is looking at examples of artwork that focus on specific elements. For example, one of the elements is line. And so we are looking at various examples of artwork that just focus on line. Now they may have some shapes and things in there, but they focus on line. And so they get some ideas for their examples that they need to draw on their element wheel. Which, by the way, I haven't shown y'all the example of the element wheel. So this is the traditional project that I have them do every single year. It's the first project every single student does in art at my school. And we make a wheel, we divide it up, and in each slice of the wheel they draw a little artwork representing the various elements. There are 7 elements and 6 spots on the wheel, so there's one that gets left out. Normally, or this year, I'm having them leave out color, but the year that this example came from, we included color. So there'll be value in place of color there. So that's what they are working on, and we're going to do that again tomorrow with 3 other elements. And then after that they are working, and first period did really good. There's only a few whispers with that. Third period, I now have 28 kids in that class, which I understand why that happened, because there's one particular student who she just struggles to get along with everybody. She is super respectful to adults. She's super respectful to materials, to the school, to animals, but she just does not get along with her peers. And it's not just her, they don't even give her any space. So if she says one thing that's just a little bit off, they egg her on and they bug her about it. And so it just causes conflict. Last year, she just struggled so much. And this year, she's trying really hard, and we knew it was going to become a problem because of how things went last year. So everybody on her team has been just in charge of it. I have her for advisory, so I already get her, and we've already started building a good relationship, and she really likes me. So they put her in art. I don't know what she had before. It might have been band. I don't know. But now I have 28 kids in that class, and I had to add an extra stool this morning because I only had 27. And I only have 27 spots designated on the table, so I had to make one up. But I, just by chance, happened to put her at a table where she got along really well with the 6th grader who was there, and they both speak Spanish. They're both little Mexican girls, and meaning they have pretty much the same background, and they got along really well, and it worked out so well. So excited about that. I need to finish lesson plans and grade some stuff. Then I'm gonna do my afternoon. I'll talk to y'all after school. period went really well, and I did have a conversation with one class about 5 minutes in about speaking respectfully to each other. That was one topic that came up at our faculty meeting yesterday. Not necessarily that it's immediately a big problem right now, second week of school, but that is one of the counselor's initiatives, is to really help kids understand what is bullying and what isn't, and what's appropriate and what's not, and how to interact with peers. We're really trying this year to teach our kids effective and positive ways of interacting with each other, even if it means they don't like each other. And the kids who were saying weird things to each other, that period, they were friends, and they were kind of joking, but they were saying downright mean things, and that's why I paused, slowly explained to the class, and I think they got it. Because the rest of the period, they were trying really, really hard, and one kid realized he was going to have a problem where he was sitting, so he asked me if he could sit by himself, and I talked to him about the kids he got along with, and we picked a good seat for him, which reminds me I should probably, document that. I started today documenting the times I've talked to students, like student conferences, and any parent calls I've made or lunch detentions I've assigned, and I think that's really going to help. It felt good. Like, I really like logging things on Eduphoria. I feel like there's a little bit more freedom with it, even though it's almost the same thing I had before, but I think it's nice, and I think it's going to be easy to be detailed. So after school, I got my lesson plans done, although they were done at 5:30 and not 5, and that is my fault because I decided to distract myself really bad between 4 and 5. And but they are done, and it would be so much easier if I did not have 3 preps, but I think that it's been really good so far, and I think it's going to continue to be very effective to have those 3 preps and to differentiate for different students. So I think it's working out pretty well. I like it. Let's see what else happened. I got my supply order in. Here is the haul. Had a little bit of Art Teacher Christmas today. I got in my order from a few weeks ago. 2,000 9x12 sheets of drawing paper. And then I think that's 500 sheets of the 12x18. Hopefully this is the last time I buy paper. I have started really knocking down on them bringing in sketchbooks for nice paper, so that way we can use our paper money for other things. Then the other thing I bought is a class pack of the Crayola color pencils. There are plenty of generic brands, but I have found the Crayola tends to be a good middle ground. It's not artist grade, but they don't break as easily, and the colors are nice and bright, and there's a good variety of colors. And this pack comes with 12 hand sharpeners, so that's so I don't have to buy hand sharpeners. Yay! So other than that, I'm feeling better. I feel like I'm starting to get on top of things, and I got reassured this morning by our district. What would we call her? She is a resource for new teachers, something like that. But basically, she checks in on newer teachers and helps them out. Now, I'm not a newer teacher, but she happened to be passing by during a passing period, so she's asking me how I was doing, and I was telling her how I'm struggling to transition into the school year, and she's just reassuring, like, this always happens. I mean, everybody's doing transition right now, just it'll happen, we'll get it. And I was like, yeah, it's getting better, it's just not near where I want it to be, but I see that it's coming. I'm able to pretty much get things done before school ends. It's just getting caught up on the things I'm behind, like getting student files set up, which I only have 2 classes left because I did 2 more today. And then I need to start my positive phone calls, because we're supposed to call every single parent and say a positive thing by like the end of the next week. up on grading. I think once I get caught up on grading, that'll be a little bit easier. And now that I'm caught up on lesson plans, that'll be a little bit easier. So we will see. I think the next big thing I need to do to help myself out is take a look at the my daily to-do list that I normally do, and update it to, because there's a few new things I need to do this year. Oh, that was the thing I forgot. I was going to write myself a note. I need to check electives lesson plans. So I need to update that list, and I think once I follow that, I'll be good. I'm just not quite at the point where I can follow that list. So we're almost there, though. Almost there. Okay. I'm gonna go home and run and have dinner and grade some papers. Yay. Hello. Today is Thursday, and today I am having a good day. Today, behavior-wise, has been great. My third period, which now has 28 kids, I think I said that yesterday, were pretty talkative, but they were working. And they didn't get that loud. They had low voices, but of course there's 28 of them, so it worked out. It was nice. I really need to implement the golden pencil system. I have it set up now, I just haven't implemented it. I intended to do it today, didn't do a first period, and so I was like, I don't know. So I just kind of left it and decided, okay, tomorrow I have to, because kids are finishing, like, we need to use the time effectively. I am super excited right now about my Art 3 kids because they are so talented. I was a little nervous going into it because I knew the kids and I was a little scared, but this first project is like turning out really good, but I'm excited. And they're already starting to talk about the art competition, which is not for 9 months. So that's awesome. I am super excited. Is it 9 months? No, 8 months still. That is super exciting. As far as what we are doing today, Art 1 is looking at the elements, and I'm going ahead, first period I didn't do it, but I'm going to go ahead and show them the other 4 elements, and they are going to work on their wheels. And as they're finishing, should be doing the golden pencil system, but today I'm giving them the option of they can read, draw, free draw, homework, or they can go to the bookshelf and pick a drawing book. And that's worked so far, except for one kid who, he was not doing anything like the last 3 or 4 minutes of class, but I'm okay with that for now. I'm okay with that for now. So that is awesome. Excuse me. Let's see, Art 3, I did a little demonstration of adding color to their projects. We are working on their grid portraits. Yesterday we did the line drawing, and so now we're starting to add the color. Today I demonstrated with marker how you can do value with marker, because I have the super tips from Crayola, except they're not Crayola, but that's pretty much it. So they have tons and tons of colors, and so I showed them how you can do value and kind of mix them a little bit with different shades of the same color. I showed them that. I also reviewed with them color pencil and doing layers, explained to them how to split up the squares, and this year I had them do 3x3 squares, so that would be like, there'd be 4 squares across. Last year we did it 2x2, and I don't know how they'll turn out. We will see. And a couple of kids were not sticking to the squares like they were supposed to, so I'm not sure how that's going to go. And those couple of kids are really low. I'm loving my Art 3. I just have 2 kids who are super low, and one, he's a year behind in school anyway, so that kind of says it. The other one has never taken art before, and he really wanted to do Art 3, and he took the initiative, and he did his project, and he did all right. No, I mean, for an 8th grader, it's bad. His drawing skills like way down at like 4th grade level or something, but he's getting there. He's at least showing effort and doing his work, and is focused. His behavior is perfect, so I mean, we'll see. I think those couple of kids are going to have low grades the whole year, because the skill level is not there, and that's what I expect. I cannot adjust grades I mean, that's high expectations just in this class. So we're doing good. We are doing good. Art 2 today is finishing up their element and principle cubes, which they will probably finish today, which means that the whole day tomorrow they'll have to work on the golden pencil system. And I'll probably need to have some kind of fun thing. We'll probably do gesture drawings. That would be fun. So that I can kind of fill in that time and not have to start their new project. I don't want to start it till next week. So everything is working out well. I am having a great day, even though I was so tired this morning. I messed myself up for the whole week when I had all that caffeine on Monday and didn't really get sleep Monday night. Last night I did get like 7 hours of sleep, but I was like falling asleep on my way to work pretty much. But I got here. I don't want to do that anymore though, so I don't want to be awake. The other thing I think is I'm not straightening my hair this week, and so that kind of I think that affects how awake I am. But I keep getting compliments on my hair, how it is right now. I mean, right now it's a little poofy, but how it has like the little flip, which is my lazy hair. Okay, I will check in with y'all at the end of the day. Hi, it is the afternoon, and I had a great afternoon. I'm gonna have to work with my 8th period though. They are respectful to me, and they do their work, but the frustrating part is they're loud. They're my only class that's loud, and I understand it's the end of the day, they have energy, they're enthusiastic, but they get really loud, and it's starting to distract people, and people are starting to get up just to go talk. So, wrote 2 lunch detentions in that class today. We will see how that goes, see if that helps. Maybe they'll take me a little bit more seriously. The only other issue I had is there's one other girl who will do what I ask, but I have to remind her. For example, twice today she got up to go sit next to a friend and sat there and worked. And yeah, she was working, but we don't move seats. And the reason why we have assigned seats is because some people need to be seated with some people, and some people cannot be seated near other people. So I have them all separated. At least all the people who would talk are separated. But also in that class, I had 2 kids whose parents I called yesterday, and those kids were great today. They were like near perfect today, so awesome there. That worked. So hopefully those kids go to lunch detention, so I don't have to call their parents tomorrow. We will see how that goes. But other than that, in terms of lessons and things, everything is working out. I did decide that during the for the afternoon, I went ahead and introduced the golden pencil system, and so kids are super interested in that and excited to get their pencil, and I'm thinking I probably should have made it a little bit harder to get the pencil, but basically they had to get an 80 on their quiz from Tuesday to get a pencil, and out of my 130 art students, about 120 got over an 80, so most of them have that, but they were excited, and they started looking through the things to earn the belts, and one girl earned a belt, but that doesn't surprise me because she's like super amazing. But yeah, so things are going well. I need to quickly get things set for tomorrow because it is 4:45 and I want to leave very soon. I would have been ready earlier, but I was talking with people like I like to do. So I will see you tomorrow. Thankfully, tomorrow is the last day for a little bit that I have duty. So I have duty tomorrow, then I have next week completely off, which will be nice because I don't have to be here at 7:15. I am tired. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Well, hello there. It's Friday, and it's supposed to be High Five Friday, but I'm forgetting to get high fives. I forgot the first 4 periods of the day. And honestly, I remembered as I went. I would remember after I had shook everybody's hand, and then I was like, oh, dang it. It's High Five Friday. Oops. Today is going pretty well. My second period, the advisory period, just fell apart. I think part of that is because the first day they assigned us a lesson. Their administration sets the lesson plans for that class, And so they didn't get the expectations. And I had thought about that, and I was like, okay, I need to fix that. And so I don't know, I'm gonna have those kids as my homeroom throughout the whole year, although I will not have them every single day, but I will have them like 2 days a week until the end of the year. So I need to do something about that. My thought right now actually is to include them on the contracts that we're doing on Monday. Although Monday is our house meetings, they meet as a grade level to discuss positive things and to have like motivational kind of activities. Then, but Tuesday I can do that. I think I need to do that. But that is exciting. It's Friday. I am excited that it's Friday, and I still have a lot of, I need to prep. I haven't started looking at or even barely thinking about prepping for Monday, which is not good. I also need, my big goal I set for myself today was to catch up on grading, and in terms of catching up, in terms of like the things that are already due, and right now, what's left is their selfie homework for the first day of school, which I should have graded last week, but last week it was not gonna happen. So I need to get that done. As long as I get that done, so I can give them back later and they get some feedback. It has been really interesting reading about kids. It was funny. Last period, for fourth period, in my art, 3 kids, because they focused on work, so I can do my work, which is awesome. I love that. They're so great. But I was reading that class period just by coincidence, and I was reading a girl's paper. Today is September 8th. She said in her paper her birthday is September 8th. And I think they forgot to include it in the announcements. So I wished her a happy birthday, and then her best friend next to her was like, wait, it's your birthday? It was kind of funny and coincidental. It was interesting. But that was silly. Today is just really our last work day for... It's our last work day for wheels, our last work day for cubes in Art 2. Art 3, we're just trucking along on our portraits. Today we looked at oil, pastel, crayon, and ebony pencil, which they're like experts at ebony pencils, because we did some realistic portraits last year in 7th grade, and they did really well on that, and they learned a lot. Last year I did a project where they had to draw a realistic portrait. They had to draw a portrait that looked like a human. I encouraged them to look at somebody and attempt to draw them, but I know so many of them would just get stuck at that and be frustrated. So I said, just make it look like a human. Okay. And I've actually learned that saying something like that, just taking their focus off of that it has to be exact, their work turns out way better. And I said that this time around too, when we did the initial... right here, here's mine. We did the initial line drawing for our portraits. So it helps them, I think, a lot to do that. And I keep yawning. I had coffee. Oh, that was the other really good thing. Even though I was kind of running a little bit slow this morning, I had the thought after my alarm went off, before I got out of bed, that I wanted to get breakfast tacos this morning. So I was like pushing myself and hurrying, and my hair didn't turn out so good. That's why it's pulled it back, so it looks all right. But I went and got breakfast tacos, and I got coffee, and I still got here on time to make my copies. And I went out of duty, and I was like 2 minutes late to duty, but that was the copier's fault. But yes, I am having a great day, and I am looking forward to this weekend. Though it's feeling okay right now. Last weekend at the pottery studio, I was throwing on the wheel, and my finger got caught in the clay, and it got pulled and bent really hard like this, and it's just been sore all week. And it's only sore like different random points in the day, just depending on what I do, especially I think when I drive and I'm using my finger to really hold the steering wheel. So I think I don't know how I feel. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I might just hand build tomorrow, which is going to requires less strength in your hands. So I am looking forward to this weekend, and I see that the principal's office is open, or assistant principal, and I need to go talk to him. So I'm gonna do that, finish my grading, and hopefully make a to-do list so I can get things ready for Monday. Good morning. It is actually Monday, And I totally forgot for the second week in a row to film a closing for my vlog, for the weekly vlog. So Friday afternoon was amazing, which is an interesting thing to say when we had a bunch of extra time and I didn't plan enough for that day. I had the golden pencil system set up, and as you can see, a lot of kids earned their pencils, but they were completing the task pretty fast, and I even was like pushing them to make it higher quality, and they did go back and do it, but they got it done. Like, it's motivating them like so much, which is awesome. But we had more extra time than I estimated, and I think that was because in the afternoon I introduced golden pencil on Thursday, and for the morning classes I didn't introduce it till Friday. That just happened by coincidence. I should have just introduced it all on Thursday, but morning classes tend to be a little bit further behind afternoon classes. So that's what was going on there. And today, or rather, let's not talk about today. I need to finish talking about Friday so that, So in the afternoon, what ended up happening, in 6th period we had like 15 extra minutes, 7th period we had like 25 extra minutes, 8th period we had like 10 extra minutes, or 15. But I had the idea to do gesture drawings, which, if you're not familiar with gesture drawings, it is when someone stands at the front of the room. Sometimes we all gather around the table, someone stands at the table, and you have 10 seconds to draw them in a silly position. Well, they make a silly pose, and then you have 10 seconds. And it's supposed to be super fast, super loose, super messy, and just get your muscles moving, get your brain thinking, and it's a lot of fun, especially when people make silly things. And so I introduced it to my 6th grade classes as, this is a game. And it's a lot of, it's up to you. You can make it a lot of fun, or you can make kind of It all just depends on up to you. Of course, my 7th period, so 7th and 8th graders sometimes struggle, or 8th graders really, they struggle with doing this because it requires them to be silly and outgoing, and yeah. But the funny thing about all that I wanted to share, it just so happened, like, I don't remember if it happened 8th period, but it happened 3 times where an administrator was nearby and had them compose. 6th period, our AP came in, and he was actually going to give a behavior incentive or something. But it was perfect timing because we needed another volunteer as soon as he walked in the room. So I was like, hey, would you pose for us? And he was like, and I was like, 10 seconds. He's like, okay. I was like, make it silly. So he goes in the room and makes his like perfect silly pose and started counting. It was awesome. And then 7th period, my principal came in and did a walkthrough, and I was just about to start gesture drawings. I was like, yeah, perfect timing. We were just about to start our end of the week game. It was not planned at all, but end of the week game. So she like pulled up a chair. She's sitting up front. She enjoyed how silly it was, saw a handful of people come up and pose. Then I had her pose. It was awesome. Then I think a little toward the end, our assistant superintendent was walking the hallways, and I saw her pass by, and I was we needed another volunteer, and I went and grabbed her. And she's a little shy and mysterious, but I got her to come pose. She even smiled. She was still like crazy. The kids loved it. It was awesome. So that's what happened at the end of the day on Friday, and
Yeah.